What's the difference between playing anywhere else and playing in New York? Because we've interviewed other players who have told us, hold on now. In other words, there have been guys who have told us that when you play a team of that caliber, that's when you truly arrive in the major leagues. Soto laughs. The interviewer goes on to ask, now, I don't know if you felt that way since you had the opportunity to play in San Diego prior to New York. San Diego is in California, which is a big state, a big city. But is there a real difference that's felt when playing in New York? Soto responds, I would actually say San Diego's the best city to play in. To play baseball on a good team that competes like San Diego, that's the best city. It has beaches, restaurants, everything you need. They even have Mexico right there. You can go to Mexico just like that if you feel like it. Yeah, it has everything, but New York is a different flow. It's just a different vibe. Maybe because I'm Dominican. For example, someone from Asia wouldn't feel as comfortable in LA in comparison to a Dominican in New York. It just feels good. The vibe, the ambiance that Dominicans create. It's a different flow. The fans and how they move, just life in New York in general, was very similar to life in the Dominican Republic. I think it's one of those things that motivates you and gives you that little feeling or desire to maybe one day play in New York. Because the fans there actually know about baseball. It's not like other places where you go 0 for 10 and still get cheered. Oh, yeah, they will boo you in New York, the interviewer says. Soto responds, it's because the fans know. The fans are in the game with you 100% of the way. There were some fans in right field yelling, put so and so in, put this guy here and this guy there. You listen to it and sometimes stop and think to yourself how what they're saying actually makes sense. You say to yourself, wow, as you listen to them and are in awe. There was one guy in particular who would constantly yell, put Cabrera in, put this guy over there. And you just stand there and process what they're saying and actually find yourself agreeing with them like, damn, yeah, he does have a point. Granted, we have our own point of view as a team and the direction we're going in, but he also has a very good point. The interviewer then says, and these are the fans yelling at you from the right field bleachers, correct? Soto replies, of course, to tell you exactly how things should be done. You know, things don't always go their way, obviously, because the team has their metrics and statistics that don't fail and don't lie. But in New York City, they know. They know about baseball. They don't just go to the game and watch. There's a lot of tourists in New York, but most of the fans that go and watch know what's going on. The interviewer then asks, we would see you get very involved with the crowd in Yankee Stadium. You would come out to the field, acknowledge fans in right field, which was always reciprocated back to you. Do you understand that dynamic in the Yankees, or did you just enjoy it in the moment and the rest would come naturally? Soto responds, no, well, you see, that would always come out of me naturally because of all the love and support I received when I arrived in New York. I did the same, well, I learned this after winning a championship in Washington. I recognize that by simply acknowledging the fans, that's enough for them. But that's just my way of showing them my appreciation. It's coming out to the ballpark, supporting us, and now sitting back and enjoying the show. That's why every time I step on the field, I make sure to acknowledge the fan base, saying thank you. Thank you for coming to enjoy what we do and enjoy the show. That's my thought process on that. The interviewer proceeds and asks, now the Yankees have a tradition called the roll call, where fans in the right field bleachers go position by position, chanting the name of each player until they are acknowledged. Each individual has to acknowledge the crowd before moving on to the next player. Soto responds, we don't just have to acknowledge them, we now have to acknowledge them and do some kind of hand gesture specific to us. Yeah, I would throw up the symbol of love in sign language. Aaron Judge would flex his muscles because he's the big homie. Verdugo would bark like a dog. Volpe would kiss the logo on his jersey. Cabrera would throw a grenade at them. Rizzo would do an Italian hand gesture. And Ben Rice would act out eating rice. Some cool and fun stuff. The interviewer asks, and you guys would come up with these things on your own? Soto replies, exactly, to show them our appreciation back. The interviewer says, they're an intense bunch, aren't they? Soto says, yeah, like I said, they're intense because they know what's going on in the game at all times. The interviewer then says, the level of focus it takes to play in New York City, what was it like? Did you ever say to yourself, oh my God, I'm being watched by all these people and it's New York. I need to give it 150% at all times. Soto replies, I always play hard. Always play hard. All this stuff about focus and pressure, I don't think I don't know if it's because of the group we had in that clubhouse. Thank God everything went well for me. I wouldn't know what it feels like had things not gone well for me because I was only there for a year. But the focus was always the same. We had one goal the whole time. When we got to spring training, the goal was to play for a World Series and win it all. It was every single day, same goal in mind: win a World Series, win the World Series, win, win, win. But there was no pressure. Why? Because what the fans were expecting out of us, we were already working towards and mentally preparing for. We came in ready to do exactly what we said we wanted to do.